but what is happening to Palestine right now is genocide, regardless of what Justin Trudeau says. Palestinians are literally just trying to survive, and Israel said, oh, I'm gonna come and take your land. Nah, it's not okay. In what world is that not genocide? If you are affected by anything that is going on right now with the Israel-Palestine conflict, please check the resources in the description box below. These are Canadian-specific resources, but if you need international resources, I will provide links to TikTok videos that I've seen who have a plethora of resources. If you'd like to donate, also in the description box below. But as a Black woman who lives in Canada and has grown up, Canada cannot be calling what Israel is doing not genocide, because that's sweeping everything that happened to all the Indigenous people in our country where residential schools happened. You know when the last residential school closed? The year that I was born. Okay? Canada cannot throw stones from glass houses, because we've got a lot of stuff up under our rug that we need to come talk about before we can come discuss other people's wars and try and pretend that it's not genocide. Justin Trudeau, I understand why you need to say what you need to say, and I specifically unequivocally disagree. And I hope and pray to all Palestinians, both in their own country, abroad, and here in Canada, understand that we're supporting you. I'm here for you, and I hope that you are free one day. I hope that all of you are free one day, because we are not free until all of us are free. Hey, what's up, you guys? The girl counting Widescreen back again with another video. It has been a whole week since our last post, and this whole week I have been sick like a dog. I am feeling better, finally starting to get back to myself. But like when I say I could not look at a computer screen before yesterday, it was bad. It was really bad. But I'm okay. Everything is good. You know, we're getting back to where we used to be. And we're once again discussing another chapter of the Female Friendship Guide written by my mom and her colleague Amelia. And would you guess what? There's actually going to be another discussion like the one that started this whole series next week. So I hope you guys tune in. The details for the event are as follows. January 21st, 2024, from 1:30 to 4:30 at the North York Center Public Library at 520 Yonge Street, North York. You know, it's literally walking distance from North York Center Station. Don't say that you can't get there, because everybody can. If you'd like to join, you get to meet both authors of the book, and you might even see me there. I can't make no promises. But if you'd like to join, the link to buy tickets is in the description, and I hope to see you guys there. If not, I'll be vlogging a little bit of the event. You might see that somewhere in the future. So this week, we are getting into chapter number 4, Friendship Roles. My actions have always been louder than my words. Love is an action word, and I choose you every time. Ooh, that is a well, for an example of friendship roles, this is in a larger group of friends than just you and your best friend or you and one person. It's usually whenever you have a larger group. So I like to liken things to when we're traveling, for example, right? So when I travel with a group of friends, there's usually one person who's the leader, who's the activity planner, who's booking the tickets, stuff like that, right? There's somebody else who's following along. There's somebody else who says, here, just put my money down. And there's usually somebody else that just wants to like do the most fun thing. Or if you put it into like vacationers, like what type of vacationers people are. Are you a planner? Are you a doer? Are you an explorer? Or are you a chill vacation person? I like chill, but it depends on where we're at. Have we been here before? Because if the answer is no, we got to go exploring. I need to see something. Even if we don't do 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. outside every day, we need to be doing a little something else. Also, by the way, I'm trying the fibril TikTok drink. I need to mix it up again. You know, the sleeping girl tea. Because I'm literally filming this Saturday night before you guys see it. So Cheers. I've known a group of ladies at this point longer than I've been on Earth without them, right? We are a friendship group. There are two of us that have the same name. There are two others that have the same last name. It's hilarious. It's super fun, right? But we all kind of fall into different dynamics whenever we're in that group. There's one who's clearly the leader or the one who is like keeping the legs moving on the group. There's one who's the supportive friend. There's another one who is, the ride or die friend. And there's always one that's kind of a little bit withdrawn in their own head, stuff like that. This year, I am that girl, withdrawn in her own head. But usually I'm supporter cheerleader, and that's where I tend to be because I love to support my friends. I love to see my friends win. I love to see my friends do big things. It's all, a big, big thing, right? But in the discussion question for today, how comfortable would I feel discussing changes to roles in my friendship group or dyad? Pretty comfortable because we've known each other for so long that we lost teeth together. When you've lost teeth with a friend, I feel like you should be able to talk to them about stuff, right? So when I was going through my little depressive phase, which kicked off all of these videos in the playlist above, it's definitely one of those things where I needed to tell them because I knew that, like, if I continue to just behind closed doors, closed mouths don't get fed, right? So when I cannot speak to my friends, when I cannot talk to my friends about certain things, and I want to make sure that their needs are being met and they're also feeling like they're here for me in the same way, I need to tell people that. And of course, my friends are hella concerned. They want to pull up. They want to make sure everyone's good and this, that, and the third. And here we are. I'm ever so grateful for those friends. Those are literally like ride or die, right? But let's just put this into y'all's perspective. So if, for example, you were the friend that is always planning your vacation, you're tired of being that friend that is constantly planning these vacations, and you don't like the idea of having to constantly just be on everyone's butt to, like, plan the trips, do all the stuff. My mom is one of those people, right? And she eventually just stopped planning. And all of a sudden, they didn't go on trips anymore. And all the friends were like, oh, we should do this, we should do that, we should whatever. And they never planned it. Because some people are just not good at planning, and that's okay. But, like, you do need to be comfortable either explaining to your friends that, hey, this can't be something that I take on all the time, or, we can take this on once every 5 years or so, especially if you're planning to keep these friends in your life for a long time. This is long-term friends, but speak to your friends. It's important. Who, if anyone, would you say has power in your friendship? What do they have power or control over? I'd say everyone in my friendship groups, the different ones that I'm in, have powers in different ways. Again, like I said, I'm the supportive friend, but there are people who have more leadership power. So let's say the busiest friend in your friend group. They always have plans. They always have something going on. They're effervescent. They're busy. They got a lot of people that support them and love them and care about them and right? So their calendar is always full. That's a little bit tough when you are the friend that feels like they're getting left behind or stuff like that. But you have the power to make the decision to be like, either we need to carve out some time together or we need to start going our separate ways. Because your friends that you get when you are going through high school, like the ones that you get in high school might not be the ones that make it to college. The ones that make it through college might not be the ones that make it to the adult stages of your life, and so on and so forth, right? And as you grow, sometimes you grow like this, but sometimes you grow like this. So one person could continue going this way, another person could go off this way, that way, You guys might sometimes meet back, might go away again. In different friend groups that I've been in the past, I noticed that I was always the one to reach out, for example. So when I stopped reaching out, yeah. So it can be tough to, like, notice that you're not as important to people and stuff like that. But unfortunately, that's just life as we move on. If people decide that they're important enough to keep in your life, they're going to keep you in your life. if you're not one of those people that makes the cut, my heart goes out to you. I'm one of those people. I've been there before. But that doesn't mean that you're not worthy. It doesn't mean that you're not worth anything. It definitely doesn't mean that you will never find a group that finds you and yourself as you are worth being around. Streak is just so good. You really do have to just take a step back, because that might show people who you really are. For example, I didn't know that I had I didn't know I had hitters beside me, because one day, this is such a random story, but let me land and it'll all make sense. One day, minding my business, post a video on Instagram. It's my first ever reel that I posted, mind you. And I was just like, it's just a little bit of me feel myself. Simple as that. And I'm just being myself, looking cute, looking good in my dress, right? A girl decides to come out of her little circle, whatever rabbit hole she crawled out of, and call me an N-word. Hard R. Yeah. I don't know where she found me from, because she wasn't even following me from what I remember. Maybe she was, but she decided this day I'm going to pour a little hateration on Jessica's parade. And Jessica was at work, because I post my stuff, but I just post and forget about it, right? My other friend saw it. Let me rephrase wholeheartedly. Her then boyfriend, now husband, saw it before she did. Sent it to her and was like, yo, what's happening? And then she said it to me, or commented on the girl's comment under my post and said what she said. All I knew is when I went on Instagram that day and I saw the comment and I saw the responses to the comment, I screenshot the comment, tagged her, put that up on my story and said, y'all got it. People came out the woodworks. People I hadn't spoken to in 2-3 years at this point in person started coming out the woodworks going after this girl. One girl literally reactivated her Instagram that day and said, "Bet, let's go." So it's like, if your people are not like moving like that, what are we doing? What are we doing? Second of all, if you have a friend, like, I know at this point, if you're on TikTok, you saw that one girl, Megan from the UK, talk about how her friend got beat up trying to defend her against the man who wouldn't take no for an answer after a night out, right? And this girl, Megan, just stood by and let this girl get beat up. Then tried to circle the block and say, oh, I didn't know her that well. I just met her 2 days ago. I'm sorry. If your friends are not actively beating the brakes off any man that tries to beat up a girl just because another girl said no, this girl's defending you, and you decided, oh, I'm just gonna watch, that's so scary, like, oh my gosh. And the moral that she got from that story was, just give guys your Snapchat or your Instagram or your number or something, because they're gonna beat up my friends. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because even if I didn't know the girl, I would have jumped on him. I would have picked up my heel and I would have flung it in his face. Because you've got a lot of cojones, a lot of them, to come on the street, try and beg a girl's number. She says no. And when her friend has to step in to be like, yo, that's enough, chill, you decide to punch her in the face. And then all of the friends don't help. Because if somebody punched me while trying to go after one of my friends, I know for a fact, Bestie and the rest of them, they would have been riding at dawn. By the end of the night, we would have had that man's full address and government name. Because there's no way the police wouldn't have to come take me up out the cell. Because after I get punched, somebody else is jumping in, and I'm jumping in now. Everybody's jumping in. Everybody's getting elected. Your friends should always want to beat up other people on your behalf. That's what friends are for. Use it as a test to see if those friends are real or not, but ask them how they feel about that story And then, then we can talk more about friendship roles after that, right? Because, girl, come on. The last question in this little chapter, because it's a short one, is what accounts for our hesitation to raise issues around the dynamics in our friendships? And this just circles back to the point that I was just talking about. If your friends are the type of friends that don't celebrate your successes, aren't interested in helping you out when you're going through a tough time, do not care when you get beat up by a man on the street, first of all, those aren't your friends, those are your enemies. You've been laying with your enemies. And insert the Cat Williams clip right now, because
you having an unnatural allegiance to losers is not like you.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing. Like, please, girls, I just need you to listen to me closely right now. Come closer. If your friends are not actively celebrating your wins, those are not your friends. Those are not your friends. And the reason that you might have trouble discussing things with them is because those people were never going to be in your corner in the first place. You should never be around people who do not care about you, your successes, your wins, and they only share when you're down. Now back to the question. Okay, so sometimes I think that people are a little bit scared to discuss friendship dynamics because they're afraid to rock the boat. Especially if it's, oh, well, it's been working, so let's not change it. Or they know that their friends are going to disappoint them, so why bother having a discussion? I think in a healthy relationship, you should be able to tell your friends when you're missing a little bit from them. Make sure that you have conversations with your friends, because if you can have conversations about like, hey, I'm tired of planning all these things. Can you handle planning this next one? It doesn't have to be a mean thing. It doesn't have to come with negativity towards it, unless it is something negative that's happening. But you should be able to feel comfortable telling your friends like, hey, I've got a lot on my plate right now. I don't have a lot of time on my hands to like do planning for our next vacation, or plan our next cross-country road trip, or whatever it is that you guys plan to do. Your friends should be like, yeah, no problem, let me handle that. Or, hey, I've also been spent, so what if we do something else instead? What if we just have a chill time this time instead? They should understand that. And if they don't understand that, then I think you need to have a different type of conversation, because that's not somebody who's actively, working on themselves, who's looking to improve, be a better person, and thus be a better friend, right? I'm not saying that they're all like that, but I'm just saying it usually shows credence to one another. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate y'all for sticking through it with me. We've got 2, maybe 3 more chapters left. Tune in next week, because if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, what is you doing, girl? What is you doing? Once again, it is Free Palestine till it's backwards over here. I hope that you all have an amazing week. I hope that you all have an amazing Sunday. And I hope that you all have a wonderful, wonderful January. My January has been a very slow start, and it will probably continue to be a slow January, and I'm okay with that. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!